Alright, everyone, this is Ash. Welcome back to the King's Speech. So like I promised in last week's channel update, we are getting back around to read-throughs and stuff this weekend. So just finished recording the videos for those, recorded a video for the next sections of Black Hammer, as well as one for Yona the Dawn Volume 39. So tomorrow I'm either going to do another volume of Yona, or I will do Bride Story Volume instead, depending on how I'm feeling. We'll also do a video for Battle Angel Alita then as well. But we're also going to get caught up on some of the Shonen Jump stuff today, just so I don't get slammed trying to do all these videos tomorrow. So we're getting around to the latest chapter of Kaiju number 8 today, as well as last week's chapter of Akane-Banashi. So just finished recording Kaiju's video, just finished recording Kaiju's video. So we're going to get around to Akane in just a second here. Tomorrow I'll get around to tomorrow's chapter of Akane-Banashi, as well as the new Spy Family chapter. So a lot of great content coming your way. So if you haven't already, please do like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. Like I said, it really does help me out a lot and mean a lot to me to get your support. So if you'd like to press those buttons, that would really mean a lot to me. But without further ado, let us get into it with Akane-Banashi, Story 93, My Words, with story by Yuki Suenaga, art by Takamasa Moe, Rakugo supervision by Keiki Hayashiya, translation by Stephen Paul, and lettering by Asnir Aran. So we pick up with Akane going, so I'm still not producing half of my true ability? He's like, are you saying I can be twice as good as I am now? And he's like, her face is just like all sparkling. He's like, I've got so much potential to fulfill. And Chocho just starts like grinning and laughing. He's like, you bet. If you play your cards right, you could be twice the Rakugoka you are now. In fact, even better. It's like more than twice as good. And she's like, I don't know what the hell she's imagining. Like giant kaiju Akane just like flexing on some dinosaurs, like a mountain exploding in the background. He's like, how do I do that? What am I missing right now? It's like, it's the reverse. You've got too much. You have deep roots. Ordinarily, you need to take your time to figure this out. But since there's no time until the debut event, that leaves only one option. We leave it up to chance. They just toss like a bunch of dice up in the air again. It's like, if you manage to capture the knack of it, you'll make stratospheric gains. But if you fail, you might lose your touch for all the art you've built up. High risk, high return. A major gamble on low odds. If you'd rather go slow and steady, there are other routes. And Akane is like, I understand. So what should I do? And he's like, I guess I needn't have asked. So I'm going to place one restriction on you. For the 2 months until the debut, you're not allowed to use Edo dialect. It's like, Edo dialect? You mean like all the rough and tumble common phrases in Rakugo? And his example's like, so I says to him, it's like, that's right, none of those. It's like, if I can't use them, then I basically can't perform Rakugo. What about Tanuki dice? How will I practice it? It's like, what kind of question is that? You just do it, obviously. Perform Tanuki dice without Edo dialect. He's like, what? It's like, relearn Tanuki dice using the vocabulary that you normally use. That's simple, huh? It's like, but if I change the words, then I'm not performing master's art anymore. Plus, what are my words? It's like, let's take the scene, for example. It's like, if I go back without repaying you, I'll never hear the end of it from the other Tanuki. It's like, would it be more like this? It's like, oh my god, if I leave now, I'm like so screwed. It's like, or should I take it further? Like, bruh, Lamau, I'm so getting cancelled. God, it's like, hang on, what about the scene where he says, just you watch, nincompoop? It's like, would this be more my style? It's like, wait, it's like, what are my words anyway? I don't get it. Why does it feel like this question keeps coming up? It's like, at this point, I see at a karaoke bar, you have former class 3-2 of Ryokyu Heist members. Let me hear you make some noise. Are you having a good time? And she's doing like a karaoke party with her old classmates. It's like, wait, this is what I wanted. It's like, I know. You want us to listen and tell you if your fixed up Rakugo sounds like you, right? So, shall we sing now? It's like, were you listening? It's like, look, who cares? We're doing your thing, so you have to do our thing too. It's like, is she kind of on edge? It's like, Risa's stressed looking for a job. Akane's like, all right, I'll sing one song. It's like, she's always practicing Rakugo in high school. This might be the first time I've heard Akane. She's going to be a terrible singer, isn't she? Like, what's her song? What's her song? They're all getting all so excited. And she's like, you whisper that you love me, but I know you're just a Tanuki. You won't let your tail show, but you are where my thoughts go. The serenade of Tanuki love. It's like, she's singing oldies? It's like, what? It's a 40-year-old song. It's like, you're so old-fashioned. So what, really good at singing. It's like, what a bizarre choice. So you see Love Tanuki, Chapter 3, 1983. And she's like, when I have Rakugo practice at a karaoke place, sometimes Master teaches me old songs. It's like, oh, I see. Well, that's all fine and good. But I think I need to teach you some newer songs. We're staying here all night. They're like, nah, I'm out. He's like, oh, let's sing all night. I want to hang out. I'm tired of applying for jobs. It's like, look, I need to be searching for my own art. And the other friend's like, you might be overthinking it. When you question your own style, you start to lose sight of what it is. Happens in illustration too. It's like, Yuka. It's like, she's right. You gotta lighten up a little. Oh, I know. You remember how you used to imitate the teachers in middle school? Just have fun with it like that. It's like, but those are just impressions. It's like, what about the other time when your dad showed up in 5th grade? It's like, oh, the fake crying incident. It's like, don't give it a name. It's my embarrassing past. And Jumbo's like, you did it back then. You were using normal words but performing them like Rakugo. Isn't that what he means? And Akane just has like taking it back moment. Like, you've got too much. And you see Chocho dropping in on what is it? Shiguma. Well, sorry to drop in out of the blue. And you even served me a drink. It's like, I don't mind. I hear you've been a great help to my pupil. It's like, it ain't a problem at all. I took a personal interest in her. It's like, I see. It's like, I've heard about the big debut event. I'm surprised you managed to tie Tizen into it. It's like, let me tell you, it wasn't easy. But I thought the timing was right. We left things hanging ever since that day. I wanted to get some closure on that. Whether we repair the loose ends or let it be a clean break. He's like, I see. It's like that whole mass expulsion. Some say it was a lack of skill, and others blame themselves for it. I've heard plenty of rumors. But the real reason was something else, wasn't it? Like, for example, the thing that Shinoji was always after. The old master that you and Master Isho both learned under. The previous Shiguma left behind an unfinished story. And wasn't that known as Shiguma's art? Alright, that is interesting. Alright, quick thoughts on the chapter, I guess. I cannot for the life of me remember what exactly my speculation was on last chapter on like what Chocho was meaning about, like, you know, you're not using up your full potential, all that. I'm still not sure I completely understand like what exactly he was going for. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know if he's trying to say that, you know, like imitations, like the whole like imitation is a sincere form of flattery. I don't know if that's what he's trying to say. Is like Akane's spent like too much time trying to replicate or like copycat or imitate like, you know, these older Rakugo styles, things like that, but she hasn't really like modernized it, so to speak. Like, I don't know if that's what his whole like idea or argument or deal is with all of this. But it's interesting. It's interesting that he's just like, oh, you know, you're not allowed to use like the Edo dialect, like, you know, like the whole like, you know, the accent stuff like that. So it's gonna be interesting to see like how this is gonna like come through in like the storytelling and the training and everything, like how it's gonna tie into like the larger story, things like that. I did like this kind of bringing in like the localization argument, talking about like how do you like adapt, you know, foreign languages and stuff, like how do you translate it to like localize it for, you know, cultural vocabulary, nuances, things like that. And I love the examples, like, oh my god, if I leave now, like, I'm so screwed. Or like, brought them out, I'm getting so cancelled. Those scenes were solid gold. Absolute major props to Stephen Paul for translating it that way. I think that was a really golden moment. But yeah, apart from that, I'm really curious to see where this is going from here. I'm now tempted to go back and reread the first chapter to refresh my memory of like what Jumbo was talking with that specific scene. Yeah, but I'm very, very curious about what this whole like the previous Shiguma left behind, like the whole Shiguma's arcs. I feel like this is eventually building up to like Akane potentially like adapting it and finishing this art style, whatever it is. So be very curious to know like what the whole deal behind that is. But yeah, solid chapter again. Like a lot of anticipation built up around this arc. Really looking forward to where it's going. It's going to be a lot of fun. So like I mentioned in the beginning, if you like this video, please do like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. Like I mentioned, there will be a lot of content coming out this weekend. So please do subscribe so you're notified when it all comes out. Looking forward to diving back into read-throughs and content stuff again after the break. And until next time, this is Ash. I'll talk to you all later.